a few minutes, as I celebrate the Eucharist, I'm going to say the words of Jesus, do this in remembrance of me, right? Do this in remembrance of me. And the responsorial psalm today, and frankly the first reading from Jeremiah today are both kind of, a little bit downers. I don't know if you picked up on that or not, but it was very much Jeremiah is given this symbol of the loincloth and how tightly it clings to a man's loins. That's how close God wanted to be to us. But the Israelites had cast God off, and they're going to pay the price. They're already paying the price. It's happening. Their lack of intimacy with God has led them to idolatry, and their idolatry is going to lead them to destruction. That's the prophet Jeremiah's message. And, Jeremiah is generally not happy, okay? He's got a couple of beautiful quotes, but in general, Jeremiah is a prophet of doom. Over and over again, prophesying doom, and they don't want to hear it. So anyway, that's happening. And then we have the responsorial psalm. It's actually from the book of Deuteronomy. You have forgotten the God who gave you birth. Is it possible for us to forget God? I hope that you're thinking, not me, but it's all too possible. This is why we do this in remembrance of me. Do not forget me. When are we tempted to forget God? I think, when the darkness of the world, when death and disease and divorce and depression and all of those things are real, aren't they? And we can forget God. Now, we have the gospel today. Today we celebrate Martha and Mary and Lazarus. Today that's the feast, this family, Martha and Mary. And this incredible story of Martha, Mary, Lazarus. And Lazarus has died, and now Martha is not confronting Jesus. That might be too strong of a word, but Martha is in a conversation with Jesus. And, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. And we can think that sometimes. Where is God in the death of my loved one? Where is God in the death of my dream? Where is God in the death of my marriage? If you had been here, this wouldn't happen. But we live in a world where death happens, don't we? I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, even if he dies, will live. And anyone who lives and believes in me will never die. And then we have this question. Jesus asks questions of his followers from time to time. And the question that he asked today is, do you believe this? Do you believe this? And our belief in the resurrection of the dead, and our belief that the life that God has poured into us through the gift of baptism and nourished through the other sacraments, that the life in us is an eternal life, that we will not die in the sense of the annihilation of death. Do you believe this? That Jesus is the resurrection and the life? Have you forgotten that? I remember, reading the lives of the saints, and one saint was reflecting on her journey, and part of her journey was this incredible temptation to not believe. Profound attack of kind of disbelief. And we we hear Jesus saying to us two things this morning. Do you believe this? And we say yes. And we hear him say, do this in remembrance of me. And so here we are, right? To remember him, to be strengthened by him, to journey with him. And Martha and Mary and Lazarus, and their story is very interesting. But Lord, do not let us forget you. That's our prayer today.